for being here today. We're going to start with the webinar. So, okay, we have Alan and also we have Carlos. Alan is the representative of Intel and Carlos is the representative of Seagate. They're going to talk about Intel and Seagate and also the combination of these products, okay? So, Alan, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, let me get the presentation up. Okay. All right, so I'm going to talk about Intel Optane Memory, and then I'll pass it to Carlos who can talk to you about the Seagate Barracuda drives in this presentation. So, kind of give you a background, people are, hearing about this product called Optane Memory. It's a memory module, and it is basically an accelerator product. It is not pure memory. It is not an SSD. It is a system accelerator product. So, in what we're looking at for this audience, people that still are buying hard drives today, but they need better performance, and they're not willing to say, if you buy a 1 terabyte Barracuda drive today, and versus buying a 1 terabyte SSD, there's a big price gap there, right? But you still want, better performance than pure hard drive. So that's where Intel Optane Memory comes in. This accelerator will actually accelerate that performance to SSD-like performance. So it's not going to cost you as much, but you're going to get very similar types of performance gains by adding just an Intel Optane Memory module with a Seagate Barracuda, high capacity drive. So there's, we're kind of targeting that customer, people that need storage. And as you see, this actual foil is showing you what's driving it, right? Customers that are running multiple applications, they also want to do a little bit of gaming, but they need the capacity of the storage. But still they're cost conscious. So this is a great option for a lot of these types of customers. So kind of what is Intel Optane Memory? So over a year ago, we did a joint venture with Micron and came up with this product called 3D Crosspoint, right? It's a memory media. Basically it's getting faster, non-volatile memory / storage closer to the CPU. So what we did as Intel, we actually took that media that we jointly did with Micron and came up with Optane. So what Optane is kind of our hardware and our software along, with the drivers, with the controller for an SSD. That secret sauce that we put together is Optane. And so our very first client product is Intel Optane Memory. And it comes in an M.2 form factor, right? It goes into an M.2 slot, and it basically, when you load it in, it becomes part of your hard drive. So you actually, there's not like two partition drive. It actually becomes part of your hard drive. And then with our Intel Rapid Storage technology, this is the actual intelligence with this memory module. It actually will look at what a customer is doing the most. So like applications that you're using, it actually remembers that and speeds up getting to those applications. So when you first put this product in, the boot up time isn't going to be what you're going to get the second or third time you boot up, right? So the first boot time might take a little bit longer, but by the time you get to the second and third, all of a sudden the boot times is 2-3x, right? You're going to see this huge jump in boot time. So that way you're when you turn your system on, it actually will get faster because it already kind of remembers things with this software. So this is kind of the traditional, what you've seen in standard PCs, right? You have a hard drive, say with a 7th gen core product with DRAM, right? And so what we're saying now is say, hey, if you want to increase your performance and get fast response and fast transfer rates, add in this Optane memory module. And it's very, we're talking less than $50 for a 16 gig Intel Optane memory, right? Put that into the solution, and all of a sudden you get SSD-like performance. So for those customers that want a little bit better, want that type of performance that an SSD gives, but they're not willing to pay the price for that, this is a great option for that type of customer. So just kind of giving you kind of the performance that we've seen with putting this with a hard drive versus just pure hard drive. You can see that we're looking at mainstream 28% uplift, enthusiast 4x, open large media projects 4x faster, 67% speeds up game launching. In the business sector, you're looking at email launches at almost 6x. So these are the kind of performance you're seeing with this memory module. Adding it in with a hard drive, you get like SSD-like performance. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Carlos to talk about Barracuda Seagate hard drive.
Okay, Carlos. So, we need you right now to talk about the Seagate Barracuda. And also, everyone, remember that at the end of the webinar, we're going to have a raffle. So just, if you have any questions, just ask, okay? Thank you. So, go ahead, Carlos.
Hi, thanks. First of all, I'm not seeing my screen. I don't know if you see anything, but hold on. Where's this one? Okay, do you see my screen there?
Yes, we have the screen.
All right, thanks. Well, I'm going to talk about the Barracuda. So by doing this, pairing with the Intel Optane Memory, we deliver amazing SSD-like performance and responsiveness without compromising the capacity or the value. This product is targeted to, first of all, I think gamers that need to play and store a lot of games, and they don't have to delete any game. So that's pretty cool. Also, creative pros, then they need to run a lot of post-production, editing applications, for instance, the Adobe Creative Suite with great responsiveness. Also, mainstream PC users that need, faster applications and all that, so 2 times faster. Here, this is a comparison. A regular hard disk drive, this first one, the 2 terabyte SSD, and the Barracuda with the Intel Optane memory. So you can see here that for system performance, if a 2 terabytes, just the baseline, 40% increase gets the SSD, and the same 40% increase gets the Barracuda with the Intel Optane. On storage performance, with the Optane, it gets similar as to an SSD. In responsiveness, 2.3 times than the regular hard drive. But here you can see on the price versus the gigabyte, you see that it's much higher as an SSD than the solution with Barracuda with Intel Optane. So there's a lot of benefits here by having this new product. Here, there is you can see the memory versus a dual drive. A dual drive, an SSD plus the HDD. The user manually needs to install the drive, files, the operating system, and the applications. As the SSD fills up, the user needs to manually move the files between the applications. So if there's anything, gets wrong, there may occur the error. So it's very manually complex process. Versus if you get the Intel Optane memory plus the HDD, the user only installs and installs the Optane memory, and the files automatically gets recognized and gets accelerated, and over the time the software monitors the files, and they begin accelerating them, as Alan just mentioned. So it's more an automatic process. So that's also an advantage of having this product. There are, some benchmarks that were done, and you can see that the Optane Intel is as an SSD-like performance with a cheaper price. You see here, for instance, what is in green, you see, is the Optane with Barracuda, and what is in orange is just Samsung 750 ELV with 250 gigabytes. You can see the comparisons that have been done with Adobe Photoshop Lite, the Adobe Photoshop Heavy, the Adobe InDesign, the Adobe After Effects, Adobe Illustrator, and all of them. You can see how here also in the gaming World of Warcraft, the Battlefield 3, you see that the responsiveness and the product per se is similar or better with the Intel Optane product with the Barracuda drive. The same, you can see other benchmarks done. The same, Samsung in orange, Samsung with the Barracuda drive in gray, and Seagate with Intel Optane in green. So overall, we're at the same level here. And most of in office productivity, media creation, data, financial analysis, and responsiveness, we are a good performance against just an SSD. So you can see here. So in performance comparison, you can see in storage performance, similar to the SSD here. 80% more than the regular hard drive. In gaming, with Optane, 2 times faster than the regular, and even more than the SSD. In Adobe Creative Suite, the same. Microsoft Office, the same as SSD. System performance, same. So in all of this, in all the chart, you can see that we're similar or better with this Intel Optane product. So what are the key selling points for the end user? First, the amazing performance and responsiveness, 2 times the boost in responsiveness like a client SSD. So improved productivity with storage solution that boots and loads editing applications like Adobe Premiere Pro in seconds. Maximize capacity. We have the drives that goes up to 10 terabytes. All the Barracuda line goes from 1 terabyte to 10 terabytes. So you can use a 10 terabyte. So you will have even more capacity solution. So you can store your videos, your games without running out of space. Imagine if you use an SSD, well, it will cost you huge amount of money. Incredible value, lower dollar per gigabyte, and with the Barracuda, you can get up to 5-year warranty if it's a Barracuda Pro that has more than. In the Barracuda Pro, we have 5-year warranty, and in the Barracuda, we have 3-year warranty. So you don't have to compromise your capacity or your performance with this product. And for resellers, it gets for the resellers a new, to upsell. That's a great opportunity. Increase performance and capacity, and you can get a broader market. And you can bundle the Optane memory with any of our Barracuda line. The Barracuda, those 1, 2, or 4 terabytes with Optane 16 or 32 gigabytes, or you can bundle it with the Barracuda Pro. So we have the line 2, 4, 6, and even more, 8 and 10 terabytes also. So there are going to be promotions, speed programs, and co-marketing with Intel that we're currently having, and we'll keep doing that. So it will vary by region, right? So needs to be contacted by the sales manager in charge of the region. So that's from my side. That's all I have.
So, hi, this is Alan again. So I just want to, also just point out that this isn't, like Carlos was saying, this is a really good sell-up opportunity, right? Those customers, if you tell your resellers that, hey, the opportunity here is for you to make money and you to save money for your customer. So they don't want to go to purely a high capacity SSD, right? Like a 2 terabyte SSD. The cost is it's a big gap between, say, a 2 terabyte Barracuda versus a 2 terabyte pure SSD. So adding the Intel Optane in that solution with that 2 terabyte hard drive gives you the opportunity to please your customer, right? Because now you're going to give them a better user experience, and also save them money and actually make you more money. So that's the things we want to make sure we take away from here. It is a great opportunity.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Alan, and also Carlos. I don't know if everyone has any question about the presentation, about the products. Okay, so let's do this. I don't know, maybe Alan or Carlos wants to help me. We're gonna do the raffle. So let me know maybe if you have a question or... Well, what is the question for the raffle? Can Alan help me, or maybe Carlos?
Yeah, I'll let Carlos do that.
Okay, well, let me think about the question. So, what is from what capacity to what capacity of our Barracuda line we can use the Optane?
Okay. Anyone has the answer for that?
2 to 10 terabytes.
Sorry?
1 up to 10 terabytes?
Yes, that's the answer.
Okay. Perfect, Javier. Okay, so I think that we have a winner right now. So, Javier, can you please write it down, your email and the company name?
Sure.
Thank you so much. Okay, I don't know if anyone has another question for Carlos or for Alan. Any question about the Intel Optane Memory, Barracuda, or how these work together? Okay. Okay, let's see.
Hi. I have a question. I'm curious as to what models of the Barracuda or what production line is the Optane Memory compatible with?
Well, it's compatible, the Optane, with all the Barracuda line, which is from 1 terabyte up to 10 terabytes, even the Barracuda or the Barracuda Pro. I mean, both alternatives.
Okay, so even the older drives that are Barracuda is going to work fine.
Sorry, which ones?
The older, say, a drive from last year, a production drive from last year.
I suppose it should work, really.
Yeah, so I can help answer that, Carlos.
Okay.
So the only thing that you need, okay, for Optane memory is you have to have a 7th gen motherboard, okay, that has to have a 200 series or higher chipset, right? So that's the combination. It should work with any hard drive. So any legacy Seagate or current Barracuda, it should work with that. The only thing that you need, like I said, is a 7th gen motherboard with a 200 series chipset.
Excellent. That's great. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And okay, normally is asking something. Is asking, is there an external drive for Barracuda with SSD?
If we have an external drive with SSD, the answer is no. We only carry an internal drive that is an hybrid that is called Barracuda. On external drives, we don't have SSD, I mean, at least an SSD line or a hybrid line of products.
Okay, thank you so much, Carlos. And also, okay, we're going to send the presentation to everyone, so don't worry about it, okay? Okay, I don't know if anyone has another question about the presentation or any of the products. Well, I don't know if Carlos or maybe Alan has something else to add to the presentation, to the webinar today.
No, not at this point. Thank you.
My only add is that just make sure that, you know, when you're out there, like I pointed out, that it has to be a 7th gen motherboard or 200 series, because there are 7th gen motherboards with a 100 series chipset. Those will not work with Optane memory. So I just want to make sure, because I know in Latin America there's quite a bit of 7th gen motherboards with 100 series in the market, in the channel. So just to stipulate, it actually has to be a 7th gen motherboard with a 200 series chipset. Okay, and there is a price differential, right? The 200 series chipset motherboard is slightly higher than the 100 series chipset, but there's advantages that the 200 series chipset will give you versus the 100 series chipset. So just make sure that when you're out there, that's the key factor. You have to have a 7th gen motherboard with 200 series chipset for Intel Optane memory to work.
Okay, thank you so much, Alan, for that. Okay, anyone has any other question or something else? Okay, okay, I need that, Kabir, can you please write down your email and the company's name?
Sure, I'll email it to you, Lydie.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, okay, so thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that all that Carlos and Alan told us today were for you. You now know how the Intel Optane memory works with the Barracuda, and okay, I know that maybe this will be perfect. Okay, so okay, thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope that you have a beautiful day.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.